The one thing that made the most impact in my life was training early in the morning. But I wasn't always consistent with waking up early. In fact, I hated it every single morning until I learned how to actually wake up early. And now I don't even need an alarm, and I have been consistently waking up early for the past 3 years. So today I will show you how to actually wake up early. First, the preparation before bed is the most important. If you get this right, you're halfway through. You're halfway right. So make sure to start by each night before you go to bed. Take 1 hour to prepare. Before bedtime, make sure to prepare for 1 hour. Okay, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna start by turning off all the lights. Make sure every light is dim. And then you will stop eating minimum 1 hour before bedtime. Stop eating and drinking minimum 1 hour from bedtime. Because if you eat too close to your bedtime, since your body is digesting to it, you're gonna be wasting so much energy that you won't fall asleep as easily as you would have done if you didn't eat too close to your bedtime. And also with drinking, the number one reason people wake up mid-sleep is because they drank too early to their bedtime. So to avoid this, to avoid waking up mid-sleep, to avoid not falling asleep as easily, make sure to start eating at least 1 hour before bedtime, and also stop drinking at least 1 hour before bedtime. So now you did everything right. You stop eating 1 hour before bed, you stop drinking 1 hour before bed, you start turning off all the lights. And remember, lights means all devices as well, all from your PCs, phones, everything. That includes lights as well. So after you did that and you still haven't fallen asleep, you try to fall asleep for, let's say, for 1 hour, and you still haven't fallen asleep, then you need to adjust this. Let's say if it's in your mind, if you keep constantly start worrying, if you constantly are worrying, and then what I want you to do is start writing, start journaling, get a pen and paper and just keep writing about it, as much detail as possible, with as much details as possible. Everything that's coming in your head, just write it down. How this is gonna help you is when you're writing it down, you're not just gonna write it down. You're not gonna try to solve the problem if it's a problem. You're not gonna try to fix everything. What you will do is you will try to, as you write it down, you will see or realize when you're gonna fix the problem, when you're gonna solve the problem, at what time, which day. Of course, it's not gonna be this day, that day where you're trying to fall asleep, because it's night, it's time to sleep. So how it's gonna help is it's gonna prepare your body, your mind into actually preparing for it. If you understand it, it's gonna make your body prepare for it. And how do you get prepared for it at that moment, at this instance? By falling asleep, by going to bed, then being fully prepared for it. So what you will do is you will write the thought down on paper with as much detail as possible, with as much when time frame when you're gonna fix it. Try to be as detailed as possible for that as well, when you're gonna fix it, what date, what time, how, not how. Remember, do not write how, because that's just gonna make you overthink even more. But when you're gonna fix it and what the problem is or what the thought is. And that was one of the main reasons people wake up from their sleeps. But also, can you guess what the other one is? By not listening to their bodies. Let me explain. Let's say 1 hour or 30 minutes prior bed, they had to go to the toilet, but they decide it's time to go to bed, I'm gonna hold it in, and they just went to the bed. 1 hour, 2 hours later, they start feeling it again. What do? they still hold it. 3 hours, 4 hours later, they start feeling it again, and they still hold it, or they then go. What they just did is they just lowered the sleep quality, the deep sleep, just overall sleep time they could have had. And it only would have taken 5 minutes before bed. But so, what you need to do is every time you go to bed, make sure to listen to your body. Make sure, take a moment to just hear what's telling you. It could even be with the air conditioning in the house, in the room. If it is too cold, if it's too warm, adjust it. Take a few minutes to listen to your body, because if you don't, the price for it is your sleep quality, your deep sleep, which is very important for recovery from your training, and also the sleep time. If you want 8-9 hours of bedtime, you have to get rid of those. You have to get rid of all the obstacles that's gonna stop you from achieving your dream sleep quality, sleep time, and sleep recovery. So this is for training early in the morning. So what the most important thing is preparing for the next early morning. So every 30 minutes before you go to bed, the last 30 minutes has to go to preparing for the next morning. You have to make it as easy to set up, as ready as possible for your future self. So aim to be ready inside 30 minutes the next morning, each day. How do you do this? Start preparing your bags, your water bottle, the clothes you're gonna wear, exact clothes, your shoes, your socks, everything has to be prepared. Be so prepared that the next morning you can mindlessly know where everything is and just be able to be inside 30 minutes. And now I'm gonna show you what the 2 alarm method is. Basically is when you have 2 alarms. One will be closer to your bed and the other one will be far away from your bed. But the most important thing is to make the closer thing to your bed at the time you preferably want to wake up. Let's say if you want to wake up at 5 a.m., you put that at 5 a.m. And you only have one alarm time. So it's only at 5. It's not at 5 and then 5:05. So the next alarm, the second alarm, will be far away from you, and it will be at your backup waking time. So if you want to wake up at 5, that's going to be at 5:10, 5:15, 5:20, 5:30. And how this will help is when you hear the first alarm and then you get up and then you actually follow through on your goals, on your training, and then you wake up and then train, that's good. But if you hit the snooze button, if you go to bed and close the alarm, you'll have the far away alarm, and that's gonna be, because you have to get up to turn it off, right? That's gonna help you stay consistent with it and make it more easier to just get up from the bed. Which one do you think it has the most resistance, which you most likely are gonna fail at? Sleeping early, waking up early? It is getting up from bed. That has the most resistance. That is where you most likely are going to fail. So remember this. Getting up from bed is your number one enemy, is your number one task. Once you get up from bed, the chance of you actually following through and just winning and just going to train is 90%. You're 90% more likely to follow through if you just get up from the bed. So make sure to remember this. 90% more likely chances of actually following through if you just get up from the bed. That's crazy. And how do you think you can make it to 99%? Getting up and then just doing the bed first thing in the morning. After that, the chance just went to the roof. It's 99.9%. But of course, just jumping up from the bed is very, very hard. So I will tell you what, one trick I did that made me so consistent and made it so effortless, just waking up early and just getting up from bed inside 5-10 minutes and sometimes even 1 minute. And that is to just have as little thoughts as possible. You have to remember, early in the morning, your body wants to just sleep. Your mind, especially your mind, just wants to go to bed. It doesn't want to be uncomfortable. So remember this, your mind is your number one enemy. So think as little as possible. Just go through every motion just mindlessly. If you start thinking for like 5 minutes, you're done. You're not gonna do it. If you're thinking in the bed, you're just going back to the bed. So remember this, turn off your mind. And if you really can just turn off your mind, one thought that actually helps is try thinking and realizing that how many people have actually tried or attempted this, trying to wake up early to train. 99.9% of people never ever have attempted that. That is so rare. And if you just keep having these thoughts instead of how it's hard or uncomfortable, if you just realize how disciplined you are being, how hard this actually is to wake up early and train, if you keep having this kind of thoughts, you're more likely to just jump out from bed. You'll be more motivated, and then the more you do it, the more times it's actually gonna come by itself, and you don't have to think about it manually every single morning. But the best case scenario is you don't even think and you just get up mindlessly and you follow through on your 30 minutes prepared set where you prepared it the night before. And this was how to actually wake up early in the morning to train. So if you watched this far, make sure to check the link in the description.